Hi, it's Kai. Today we are going to be talking my trash. We're going to be going through all of my beauty and lifestyle empties for January, February, and like the first week-ish of March. There's a few March that got snuck in there, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I do a lot of these empties videos. I enjoy empties videos because it is like a summation of everything that I've tried, what I repurchase, what I don't repurchase, all of that. So without further ado, and to stop the chatter and get into it, let's stop the chatter and get into the empties video. I usually try to do like the lifestyle things and beauty things and group everything together. I think I'm gonna just start pulling things off the top and talking about them because sometimes I feel like when I think too much about the order that I'm pulling things out, that it makes me talk longer or, more about products. So anyway, the first thing is a lifestyle product that I usually start my empties off with. I really like the Downy Unstoppables. These are the Fusions 2-in-1 in the Twilight and Jasmine scent specifically. I love that it's just a really lush, fruity, but clean, musky type of fragrance. It's super fragrant on your clothing and on your bedding and stuff like that. I really love it for my bedding. It is definitely a scent booster that I have repurchased, but if I'm being completely honest, the Downy scent boosters have just increasingly got expensive at my local Kroger. I know they used to be like even last year around this time, they were maybe $13, $14. And when I went into Kroger last week to do my food shopping, I saw that they were like $19. And so I've actually been purchasing the Arm & Hammer ones more because those are like $6. And a lot of the time Arm & Hammer at both Publix and Kroger, they do a lot of buy one, get one versus the Downy Unstoppables. It'll be like buy two, get one, a percentage off, not completely free, you know what I'm saying? So again, I really do like the Downy Unstoppables. They're great. They smell great. They really stick to the clothes and just add an elevated layer to your laundry routine. But it's just getting more and more to be a luxury product. And when our economy is not the best or is very uncertain, these are the types of products that will go to the wayside first or that people will downgrade first. So I know that maybe Downy and P&G, which is the owner of Downy, maybe they don't have but so much pull or leverage. But I just honestly see, again, as our economy and as things get more uncertain, items like these being super stocked on the shelves or like people just kind of going with a really fragrant laundry detergent. Even sometimes that's what I will do for certain things. The laundry detergent that I use is pretty fragrant on its own, so I can sometimes just use that versus that and a scent booster. Again, I enjoy scent boosters, but it is something that I recognize is a little bit more of a luxury. Another home fragrance related product that I repurchase very constantly, pretty much every single Chewy order that I get, I put this in. It's their double duty litter deodorizer, and it's basically just baking soda with a little bit of a kind of like fresh, clean floral scent to it. It's not something, in my opinion, that is super fragrant. I can't really smell it. Like the way that I like to use it is to put this at the very bottom because I use the wood pellet cat litter and that ends up being like sawdust when your cats use it, So sometimes when it's really sawdusty, like the pee will get stuck to the bottom. And I find that doing a coat on the bottom of this helps keep that from happening so that I'm not having to constantly like do a full wipe down and like really get in there to get things off. Everything just can kind of go into the trash bag or like flows into the trash bag easily. And again, along with the pine pellets I feel like have a pretty distinct pine woody odor on their own. So I feel like that helps cover up the smell of your cats and they're doing their business. But this is just, again, an added layer that I feel like helps my apartment honestly smell like I don't really have cats. I've had people, say, oh, I didn't know that, you had an animal in here because it doesn't really smell like it outside of being able to see like the obvious signs of a cat, like a litter box, toys and things like that. But anyway, this is definitely something that I highly recommend if your cats are a little bit stinky in the litter box. Then I have the Naturium Glow Getter Multi-Oil Body Wash. We know her, we love her. I know her, I love her. I think this is my second or third bottle that I've repurchased, and I definitely will be repurchasing. I do want to get some of my backlog of soaps and body washes out though, so I'm not going to repurchase this immediately, but it's definitely something that as I use up even some of my other Naturium products that I really enjoy, and I think, oh, let me just go and do a Naturium order, or if they have a really good sale on Naturium in somewhere, Ulta or on their website, I will just go ahead and buy another one of these. But until I finish some of the ones that I have, because I've have a lot of body washes. A lot of them have been sent to me. I'm very grateful for getting PR and getting products sent to me to try out, but sometimes it does get overwhelming, and even like winning giveaways sometimes, because I just put myself in them. I'm like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? And then I win them and I'm like, oh, that means that products are going to be here. Speaking of products that I've been sent that definitely don't overwhelm me at all, if Sniff wants to send me more of these, I don't know if they're out of season technically since Valentine's Day and you know that season is over, but it is their Big Flirt and their Guilty Pleasure candle. Big Flirt I actually purchased last year. I've told the story multiple times of how I had it on a wax warmer, or it was cooling down after I'd lit it, something like that. The wax was still, you know, a little bit warm and emollient and, you know, liquidy, and my cat decided, yeah, that's what I want to knock down. And she knocked it down on the floor, knocked it on like my couch. I had to like scrub it out of my couch, and I tried to salvage, or I not even tried, I did salvage as much of the wax as I could separate from the cat hair, because I just love this candle so much. It's like a chocolatey strawberry, but still like light. It's not too dense and like get in your teeth like decadent chocolatey. And it's not like, I feel like that makes it seem like it's not a good chocolate. It's just not a rich chocolate, if that makes sense. It's decadent, but not necessarily rich. So I bought one on my own, and then Sniff sent me one this year, I guess, because someone, I actually told their social team that story, and you know what, they probably felt bad for me that I was scraping it out of my carpet to use. So they did send me this, and then they also launched Guilty Pleasure, which, if I'm being honest, I might like Guilty Pleasure even more, and that's hard to say because I like this candle so much, but Guilty Pleasure is kind of like a vanilla cake and almond type of vibe, but there's still something, again, light about it. It's not too like sugary sweet, your house smells like baked goods all the time, but it definitely smells great. I also love that these have a great throw on them. The scent just fills up the room. Like if this is out in my living room and I'm coming from my bedroom out into my living room, I can't necessarily smell it in my bedroom because of the configuration of my apartment, but the minute that I kind of hit the corner going into the living room, I can start smelling it. So it's very fragrant, and even the cold throw on these is really good. Like just sitting them out with, you know, not lighting it, you can still smell it, like if you're sitting in the general area. So again, love these. Would love if they send me more of them, but these are fully candles that I would and have purchased with my own money. I really enjoy them. Candles are just a kind of home product that, again, with the economy, it's one that I don't prioritize as much as, you know, some of the other things that I need, and I've kind of scaled back on buying candles as often, but I've also gotten sent a few good ones. Honestly, I have another one that was sent to me that I'm burning, and that's really good. So I guess it's just kind of one of those situations where, you know, the universe kind of just gives you something when you're honest with yourself, when you're just kind of like, yeah, my budget, I need to be putting more towards saving. I don't know what the student loans are going to look like if I can't be on an IDR program. Yeah, anyway, we're not going to get into all of that because I don't want to think about that myself, and I like my filming and generally my channel, even if we're talking about real shit, to be a little bit, at least a little bit of a distraction from the real world and everything that's happening in it. And I hope that I can balance those things with my channel. Anyway, next thing that I have here is Florida Water. It's another thing that I've emptied multiple times, talked about multiple times, and every time I talk about it, I just kind of give the if you know, you know, if you don't really need to, and that's okay. I finished yet another Cocokind Ceramide Barrier Serum. This is one of my favorite hydrating, barrier repair type of products. Honestly, I just use it pretty much in every single routine because it just feels really nice on the skin. It's not like sticky or anything. It is substantial without, again, being too viscous or sticky. And I just feel like my skin always looks better when I have this in my routine. It's something that I've bought for years and years. I buy the big one now because they have, instead of just the 1 fluid ounce, the 1.9 fluid ounce Big Daddy, and I've already repurchased this. So it's, again, one I wish Cocokind would notice me. Like, if Cocokind would notice me and even just send me one replacement, as many of these as I've bought, I would just be like, thank you. Thank you, because I just really like their products. Then there is the Kroger brand Refreshment alcohol-free fluoride mouthwash. It's mouthwash. It does what it's supposed to. I like it. Do I like it as much as if you've seen some of my previous or like especially older Empties videos, what is that called? The one that has the doctor, the TheraBreath. I was about to be like the doctor who like outed his daughter for having really bad breath to make his business claims. But I really like those, but they're just, again, they're so expensive. They're getting so expensive. And it's another area where I'm just like, I just need something that works. This is a product that works. It freshens up my mouth. It has fluoride in it to help fortify my teeth. And generally, I haven't had any issues with it. So I have even repurchased that. If I'm not mistaken, this is either my second or third empty of the Bioma Hydrating Milky Toner. I really love this. I haven't repurchased it because it's out of stock at my local Ulta. And I haven't wanted to like order online because I find myself sometimes when I order online buying a lot more than I need to versus even buying in store. I think it's just because I have anxiety. So when I go in store, my idea is like, I'm trying to get in and out, get what I need, and go and get away from these people. Versus online, I can really take my time. I can go through the new tab and kind of like get the impulse buy. So I have started more so putting things in my cart and then like leaving my cart there for a few days just to see if I really think about those products. In the case of this, what happens is I run out of it completely because it's in my cart along with other things. I'm just like, oh, I don't really need those other things. And then I run out of the product that I actually need. And then we just do this cycle again. So I probably will purchase this. It's currently the 21 Days of Beauty for Ulta. And I know that they have something that I want on sale. I'm actually almost out of my body scrub, so it would be replacing that. It's the KP body eraser or body scrub, whatever it's called, from First Aid Beauty, and they have it in a peach scent. And I just love everything with a peach scent, so I really want to get it. Anywho, because that one is half off and I kind of want to get it, and then I need to get this, or not need, I have other serums and things that I can use that, I don't necessarily need this, but I do enjoy it in my routine, especially for like my nighttime routine. So it's something that I definitely want to repurchase. One of the ways that I really like using this is as a buffer with some of my exfoliants, because sometimes exfoliants can sensitize your skin and make it feel a little bit, irritated. And I find that if I do the milky toner before a like more intensive exfoliating serum or treatment, that it prevents, the tingle, irritation, and all of that. So that's another way that I like to use that, and other products in my routines don't necessarily fill that void as well as that. So I'll probably be repurchasing that over the next few days. There's also the CosRx Advanced Snail 92 All-in-One Cream. I kind of oscillate between this and then the Snail Mucin Serum. I think I personally just like the Snail Mucin Serum, even though they're very similar and this one is actually a little bit thicker. To me, this one feels more like sticky. I know people in the past have said that the Snail Mucin Essence, like the serum version of this, is what feels sticky to them. That doesn't feel sticky to me. This one feels more sticky, and it's not necessarily something that is, too much. I was able to finish it, obviously, but I don't know if I will repurchase this. And also, there's just some products, again, that are less expensive right now, or technically by the time this video goes up, it'll be past the day that it was in the 21 Days of Beauty, but the Snail Mucin Essence was in the 21 Days of Beauty. So if I was in the market to repurchase this right now, I would probably have repurchased it then. But right now I have the Peach Slices toner, and that's also like a Snail Mucin toner, and I'm liking that. And I also really want to try the new Bioma Snail Mucin toner. So, or it's not a toner, I think it's a serum, but they're kind of interchangeable, but that's getting into semantics. Anyway, I want to try that. So it just wasn't in the cards for me to repurchase this one at this time. I can't say that I'll never repurchase the CosRx products or the CosRx Snail Mucin in particular, but it's just not on the docket right now. I kind of am in I want to try some other things, or I've seen some other things that are interesting to me in that same area. I also finished the Inkulus Hyaluronic Acid Serum, which I think has changed a little bit in formula since the last time I purchased it. It's been a while. I just had other, hydrating serums that I liked more, and this was one that I used to go through literally like water because it was so liquidy. And I feel like they must have upped which I see glycerin is also in here, so it's not just hyaluronic acid, but I feel like they upped the glycerin content in this because it's definitely just a little bit more substantial than it was the last time I remember trying it, like maybe 2 years ago. I don't think I had purchased this since being in this apartment, so it had been a little bit of time, but it's one that, again, I go back to whenever I'm in Sephora and I've run out of my other hydrating serums and I'm just like, oh, let me just grab something from here while I'm here instead of going to another store. It gets the job done. It's not necessarily my favorite, but again, it's not one that I, wouldn't repurchase multiple times. So again, it's one that when I see it, I'll get it if I need it, but not one that I necessarily go out of my way to Sephora to purchase. I'm almost embarrassed of how old this is because I purchased this when Glossier had their first pop-up or like Atlanta store. I don't know if it was supposed to be a pop-up or if it was supposed to be permanent. I think their store now is permanent. Don't quote me on that. But when they first bought it back in 2020, and like me and my friends remember it so distinctly because we had just a lot going on, in addition to the fact that literally the next week everything would shut down for COVID. But that's how long I've had this, and honestly, it's something that when I wore it on my face, I felt like it sensitized my skin a little bit, but I did really want to finish it. So I just finished it by using it on my body and on my legs. On the body and legs and even like the collarbone, it gives a really nice shimmer, and not really shimmer, I should say more of like a glow lit from within, because there is something pearlescent about this, but it's not a shimmer. It doesn't look like I put body shimmer or body glitter on. It just looks like my skin is really healthy and hydrated. So that's one thing. If you're project panning, or even if you're not project panning, but you just have a product you don't love and you still want to get use out of it or finish it, use it on your body. The skin on your body is usually a lot thicker, stronger. It can handle a little bit more than the skin on your face. So you can usually do that unless it's something that you're like obviously allergic to and it's giving you hives and stuff like that. I finished the Dead Cool Body Scrub. This is their Extra Milk scent, which has a scent profile of amber, bergamot, and white musk. It's really just one of those like amber, ambroxan, my skin but better type of scents. And Extra Milk is like their milk scent, but amped up a little bit. So it's just a pretty, again, basic, ambery, warm, kind of creamy, my skin but better scent. However, I don't love the body scrub as a body scrub. It has, I think, rice granules in it for exfoliating, and I just didn't find it for my skin. I have pretty rough, dry, scaly skin on my body, so that could be a factor. But for my skin in particular, I just didn't find it to be exfoliating enough. It wasn't, substantial. I've said substantial so many times in this video, but it just wasn't. It wasn't enough to actually get a lot of my dead skin off. However, it was very fragrant, so fragrant that you could definitely still smell it on my body after I'd gotten out of the shower. It like completely engulfs my entire bathroom with the smell of it, and even leaking out into the hallway. And like I said, it even will stick on my skin after using other body products that like don't match the scent of this. So if this was just like a body wash, I would probably want to repurchase it over and over again. I haven't tried the body wash from them. I did win some stuff from them in a giveaway. This is so far the least favorite of all of the things that I've won in the giveaway, but I haven't tried the body wash yet, and I'm excited to try that. That's again one of the backlog of body washes I currently have, but I am excited to try that because again, if it's as fragrant and sticks around on the skin as much as this, it'll be great. And a lot of the Dead Cool scents are ones that you can mix and match with other things. I wouldn't necessarily say basic. They definitely have a few scents that are a little bit more edgy, peppery, even have some incensey stuff. But in general, the Milk, Extra Milk, and even Taunt, those are just very light, clean, like my skin but better. Taunt has maybe a little bit more of a sweet vanilla sway, but they're all just kind of in that very light, my skin but better type of family. And so they layer well with pretty much anything. I believe this is discontinued, but I think it was just ahead of its time. This is the Ulla Henriksen Touch Firmly Yours Toning Dry Body Oil, and I actually really enjoyed this. It was a nice consistency that was like slick but didn't make me feel oily and greasy. It also did sink into the skin pretty nicely. I don't know about the toning aspect of it. I don't feel like your body care is really going to tone your body. Like it can maybe make the appearance of your skin look more toned or elastic or brightened or whatever, but as far as actually toning your skin, if you have cellulite or lumps or whatever you think is going to tone, like that's done in the gym, unfortunately. So it's not something that if you're looking for a product like that you're gonna get. And like, even I've had a few recently emails come in for like sponsorships or gifted collabs and stuff like that from brands who like that's their whole thing, making body firming and like anti-aging body care and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I can't do it. Like I just don't vibe with it. I don't believe in it. Could I use the money? Hell yeah, but I can't do it. So again, firming, not necessarily, or toning, it can make your skin look more firm, look more toned, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's going to make you look toned if you're not already toned in a certain manner, but as a body oil, I just really enjoyed it. It doesn't really have much of a scent. It's kind of just like almost herbaceous, but not in like a vegetal way, just kind of like a, outside in the, trees type of way. So again, not something totally remarkable. Anyway, it's good. I don't even think I needed to spend that much time on it because I'm 99% sure it's been discontinued. But if they bring back their body care line, I wouldn't be mad at it. This one I'm actually really sad about. It's the Sol de Janeiro Delicia Drench Body Butter. It's their Charoza 59 cent. And I had gotten this in a little set that they had sent for, I think, the holidays. And this is my absolute favorite body cream, body butter product from them. Not only is it my favorite scent that they've ever come out with, like I actually want to buy the body mist in this scent because I like it so much. It's like a kind of vanilla, a little bit caramelly, but still not like, again, in your teeth dense type of caramelly, along with some florals. I think it's jasmine that's in here, and jasmine is usually a floral, note that I get along with really well in all of its forms. So it just has a very delightful, yummy scent that honestly goes with a lot of the fragrances in my collection, whether I'm going with something a little bit more gourmand or something a little bit more floral. And I also feel like this is the heaviest duty of all of them. Like some of the other body creams from them, I feel like are for the scent only. This is the only one that I feel is thick enough for my dry skin for me to actually use it as a body cream or body butter instead of just for the scent. So again, I like it for that reason, and it's the one that I would repurchase for that reason. However, it's really expensive, and also one of my friends, Cami Reviews, she has one video on YouTube, but over on her TikTok, I love her TikTok. She's so funny and just cool. But she said that there is a Trader Joe's body butter that is very similar to the scent of this. It's not an exact one for one. So maybe I'll stop in Trader Joe's and see about that, because this is in the full size, like $45. And that's very expensive for a lotion. And I don't really need to be buying any more lotions, so it'll be a while before I repurchase anything that has a scent to it, unless I just happen to be in Trader Joe's and then see it, but I'm not going to make an actual trip to Trader Joe's for this. Like, I'm putting that out there. I know people think that the Touchland hand sanitizers are like the biggest gimmick of hand sanitizer. It's like $10 to $15 for a spray hand sanitizer. And then there's the little cutesy attachments and cases and stuff like that. I was one of those people when I didn't have one of them. However, one of my best friends got me one for my birthday a few years ago, and that's how long it's lasted. It was the birthday from when I moved in here, which was 2022, and it lasted up until, again, January of this year. And I would always be the one with my friends or my sisters who, when they were like, hey, can I have some hand sanitizer if we were eating somewhere or just somewhere, going to a public bathroom, whatever. And I would just like whip it out and be spraying everyone. And it's lasted, again, such a long time. I also really like the scent. This is the Aloe U scented one. And the aloe one, I really like it. It just kind of smells like that aloe cucumber fresh type of scent. It's not something that I feel like is too aggressive. I do have their rose one because my same friend bought me another one, I think because she saw I was running low of the one that I had. So she did get me another one in addition to the little case, which is so cute. I love having it on my fanny pack. It just completes the look, if I'm being completely honest. And that is part of the reason why my mom always says I'm a marketer's dream, because I like cutesy little stuff and like the whole ecosystem of things. But like I was saying, the hand sanitizer itself, it's good as hand sanitizer. The rose scented one, I do feel like I have not necessarily the issue, but that one is a little bit more fragrant than this one. So I can understand people who have said in the past, like, oh, these are a little bit too fragrant than what I like my hand sanitizer to be, especially if you're using it before like eating a hand food or something like that. I can understand it. I mean, I don't necessarily mind because I like things that smell nice, but those are definitely ones that I love. I will repurchase them if they don't get repurchased from me, but they last for such a long time that really that $10 you spend, if you're not just sitting there like spraying it aimlessly, of course, or I don't know, maybe if, well, I can't even say maybe if I were in an environment where I was like needing it more or going places more, because even when I was going to the office regularly and using that like pretty much every time I would sit back down at my desk, I still had that from, 2022 up until January. So again, I think it's just something that lasts long, even though it may be $10 to $15. It's $10 to $15 stretched over like 2 years, 24, 25 months almost. I think it would actually be like 27 months if I calculate it correctly. So you do the math. Honestly, that's not that bad. This technically isn't an empty. I did a little TikTok video and I think I talked about it in my last video as well, but I'm getting rid of it because I just noticed my lashes coming out after using this a lot. It's the e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara. It's a beautiful mascara. Love the length, the volume, everything about it. It made my lashes look super thick. It was a tubing mascara, and I'm going to be completely honest. I've talked about this in other videos as well. I don't understand the tubing mascara propaganda, if I'm going to be completely honest. It just, to me, it's like it comes off with water. So I feel like when you're sweating, or notice when you're sweating, or even when you cry a little bit, it's not waterproof. It's not necessarily, sweat proof. So it is still going to crumble like a regular mascara, but it's just kind of harder to take off than regular mascara, because with regular mascara, I can just, with my makeup cleansing balm, do my whole entire face and then go about my business. But with this, I have to like scrub with water at my eyes. Makeup cleansing balm doesn't take it off that well because it's meant to be taken off with water and not oils and stuff. It just, I don't get it. It looked great again on the lashes. If it wasn't a tubing mascara, I would probably love it. I don't feel like with other tubing mascaras I've tried in the past, because I know I've tried them, I don't think they were as difficult to come off as this one. I don't feel like when I was even with water, like rubbing my eyes literally down in the sink like this, just rubbing my eyes to try to get it off, I didn't notice my lashes coming out the way that I do with this. Like, I just don't really get it. So if you have a tubing mascara where you feel like that isn't the case, I will take one for the team again and test it out for everyone. Maybe I just have really sensitive little eyelashes. I didn't think that I did. I'm not a person whose eyelashes fall out very regularly, or like when I rub my eye, I notice them falling out or anything. But with this, I definitely noticed the density of my eyelashes going down. So I stopped using that. And hey, in the few weeks that I've stopped using it, my eyelashes have actually stopped falling out as much. Throwing it back to the lifestyle stuff, this is one of those C&E craft company, the viral car fresheners that have the oil in it. I've talked about these in other empties as well, and I've emptied yet another one because I had a 4-pack of them. This was the lavender and vanilla scent, and admittedly, lavender isn't my favorite scent overall. It can just smell a little bit like strong, and this definitely had one of those very strong lavender scents, but I feel like the vanilla balanced it out really well. And I also feel like the longer that this was hanging in my car and, diffusing and stuff like that, and the oil getting lower and lower, that more of the vanilla was coming out. It was almost as if the lavender kind of burnt off quick first and then left mostly the vanilla. So it's not necessarily one that I would repurchase on its own, but I didn't necessarily hate having it in my car. I actually feel like my dad might like this scent in particular. So when I repurchase them, I might get one for his car because I know he loves little car fresheners and stuff just like me. This one is a sad one. It's the Olive and June nail strengthener. I really like this. Part of the reason that I like it because I've been trying another like nail strengthener protein treatment just to, you know, finish it up. But part of the reason that I like this more than other treatments is that it's not a nail polish. It doesn't sit on top of your nails like it's a nail polish. You can't peel it up like it's a nail polish. The other ones that I have, they are like a nail polish. They peel up like a nail polish. And because of that, when I start feeling it peel up a little bit, I will have my nails in my mouth. Since not having this, I've noticed myself biting my nails more. They haven't been growing as long. They've been nubbier, and I really want to repurchase this, but the only place near me that has it is Target. And, you know, I'm trying to avoid Target shopping where I can. So I honestly just need to make an order online, but it's just like, I don't want, again, running into them making an order online and then feeling like, oh, well, if I'm getting this, I should just get like 3 new polishes, even though you're trying to finish up some of the polishes that you already have. So it's just that catch-22. I want Olive and June in Ulta. The minute that Olive and June is Ulta, I probably will not go to any, like I will be in Ulta every single day because I love their stuff. Again, I really love this nail strengthener. It really does fortify and strengthen the nails, and I like that it's not a nail polish. It doesn't peel up like a nail polish. It sinks into the nails, and it's also not greasy either. It's a little bit tacky. You can use it as a nail primer, but it's not something that I feel like is like sticky. It's just perfection. I think they have launched a extra strength one as well. That one looks interesting. Maybe I need to get both the regular strength and the extra strength to test for everyone, for the good of everyone. One like and I'll do it. I have this Yummy Skin Glow Serum Hydrating and Priming Face Serum from Danessa Myricks. I have been using this in the past few of my like makeup full face, you know, shop my stash type of videos, and I actually really quite enjoyed this product. I could see myself repurchasing it. It is a little bit like shiny. It definitely, at first, like when I used it, I was like, oh, is this going to be Tin Man? It does end up giving your face a very like luminous effect, but it's luminous and plump. It doesn't end up looking like just Tin Man. I think that it wears nicely underneath makeup. I didn't have issues with pilling with any of the foundation products I used with it. If anything, one of the foundation products I used with it was too glowy, and I just didn't like the combination of them together. But especially with more matte foundations, which there is going to be a point with my Project Pan journey where I'm going to have to face the fact that I have a whole bunch of matte foundations and I need to find a way to use them despite not really liking matte foundation all that much, or just not really having a purpose for it in my personal life. I like something a little bit more luminous, a little bit more, you know, not matte and flat. It just doesn't work for me. The matte flat glam, I wish it did. I wish it, and I'm saying this like I can make it work for me. It's just not my preferred look. So anyway, I really like this. This is a product that I would consider around the time when I'm having to finish those matte foundations up. I would consider purchasing this because I think it would make it much easier to finish some of them up. I have a fragrance sample from Nui Cobalt Designs. They are an indie, more, I guess, artisan type of fragrance brand. And they're also, if you are into the metaphysical arts, they have some metaphysically infused and charged oils. Like this one in particular is called Beauty. This is one that I didn't love on my skin. There was a little bit of like an aromatic, I think lavender is in it actually, that just, again, lavender can just be a little bit too much for me. It can be a little bit stark and harsh, but I got use out of this by putting it on my clothes. And I don't know, I can't necessarily say it works metaphysically. I feel like it does because I feel like when I've used this on my dryer balls, put it on clothes, and then like gone out, I've gotten like a random compliment, or even just sometimes feeling like, oh, I wore a shirt that I had put, this on the dryer ball and dried the shirt. And I'm getting like nicer comments than I usually do on certain videos. So I again feel like there is something to it. I don't know if it's one that I would repurchase for, again, like scent purposes, but maybe for the metaphysical purposes. And my final two empties are both Project Pan products that we've talked about a whole bunch here. And the fact that I finished two Project Pan products in the first 2 months of the year, I feel like that is a very good start. So this first one is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Again, completely finished. It's not bad. I'm just not really a big primer person. I feel like a lot of what you can achieve with primer, you can just achieve with a good skincare routine. And I'm sure there are some primers, like more mattifying ones for people who have oilier skin. That one I will say, that could be useful for people, but just like the hydrating primers and stuff, a lot of them end up feeling like moisturizers. This one did have maybe like a slight like pore diffusing effect, but I'm actually trying out or have like a little sample of the NYX pore filler, and I feel like that one definitely has a much more pore filling effect going on to it versus this. So this is just like slightly smoothing, slightly kind of hydrating versus being very matte. It's just not something that I feel is necessary in my routine, but it's not a bad product. Next is one of the ones that I've been using for years, the Flower Beauty Blush Balm Color Drops for Cheeks Liquid Blush. This is the shade Cinnamon, which is a very beautiful shade, but it's one that I always was so on and off with. Sometimes I would wear it, especially when I was like lighter, my winter complexion, and I would be like, this is a really pretty, just like barely there, slightly blushing natural type of blush. And then there were times where when I was deeper in the spring and summer, had more of a tan going on, I would wear this and kind of be like, nothing is showing up on my skin. And especially when I was having those nothing is showing up on my skin eras, it is also a really dewy blush, so it just felt like I was adding, no color, but like a whole bunch of dewiness on top, which can look pretty, and there's like a place for that, but that's not what I wanted to achieve at the time. I also feel like sometimes this can break up like the products underneath it a little bit. It's definitely one that works better with certain products versus others. But yeah, I'm excited to have finished this. It's one that, again, I had used and was trying to finish up for such a long time. And even despite having periods where I felt like this wasn't pigmented enough for me, it still took a really long time to use. So again, I always say this in these types of videos, but it's a testament to how long your products actually last you. Even if you have other things that are switching it around occasionally, if you are dedicating yourself to one product, a lot of the time it's still going to last you a while, especially if you're going into using up your products in Project Pan as like not I'm gonna like dig and scrape into products, but like using them the way that they're intended to be used. Anyway, that is all of my empties. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am going to go get myself a snack and something to drink because, as we can tell with these longer videos, my voice either starts getting lower or the vocal fry starts getting more, and that's about the time that we need to wrap up these videos. I hope you guys again enjoyed it and that you're staying safe and healthy wherever you are when you're watching this, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.